Welcome to the Mega Man 11 Extras. The first thing we're going to be covering is alternate difficulties. I played the game in superhero mode, so if you want to hear what superhero mode is like and just want to see it in general from beginning to end, go ahead and just watch my regular videos on Mega Man 11. Otherwise, I'm going to be covering the other difficulties and how they compare to superhero mode in this little section right now. We're going to use Blockman's stage as a test, because it's the recommended first stage, so why not? First difference, in newcomer mode, you start with infinite lives. We'll cover how many lives you start with in the other difficulties afterwards. Enemies actually drop things that aren't bolts, including health pickups, weapon energy pickups, a roulette item that can give you anything from health to weapon energy to actual E-tanks if you want, or gear coolant. Gear coolant is something we're going to cover later. You start off with infinite beat calls, so you never have to worry about bottomless pits, infinite spike protectors, so you don't have to worry about dying by spikes, and an energy balancer to actually, not have to worry about recharging your weapon energy once you have more than one special weapon. As you can see in superhero mode briefly, there were no bolts up top at that little crevice, whereas in all other difficulties there is something up there. Superhero mode removes all collectibles from stages, including E-tanks, including bolts, including health, anything. Mini-bosses, strategies remain the same across all difficulties, but in superhero mode obviously they do more damage. Anti-eddies actually have a purpose in other difficulties because they actually carry items that you want but run away from you, whereas in superhero mode they don't. As I said before, in superhero mode, all items that are just scattered across the stages like E-tanks or gear coolant. As you can see here, gear coolant actually, cools your gears a little bit if you're using them. They don't exist in superhero mode. The only thing you get are bolts when you kill enemies, sometimes. Bosses. Unlike mini-bosses, whose strategies don't change, but the amount of damage they do does change, boss strategies do change a little bit. For example, Blockman actually drops down more blocks in superhero modes compared to other difficulties. Obviously, in other difficulties, Blockman takes more damage from your shots and does less damage to you if he lands a hit. Not really much more to go into other than that. In superhero mode, bosses other than Blockman are able to use their power gear or speed gear abilities anytime they want, whereas in all other difficulties, they only use their power gear and speed gear abilities when they are close to death. So, yeah, that's basically it. You are forced to use different strategies in superhero mode to destroy certain robot masters, because they do way more damage and take less damage from you in general. As you can see here in casual mode, you start off with 5 lives, and in normal and superhero mode, you start off with 2 lives, as is custom for Mega Man games. And that's it. That's the differences. Here we go. Moving on. Okay, welcome to the next extra of Mega Man 11. Now we're going to be taking a look at all of the extra modes in one go. We have a leaderboard. Yeah, a leaderboard. We have a leaderboard here for everything that you do in the challenges section of the game. So if you want to see how you do in Time Attack, or Dr. Light's Trial, or the balloon pickup thing, or the dumb don't jump a lot in the stage, which I don't like that challenge at all. But if you want to see how you're doing compared to other people, there are leaderboards, as you'd expect. That's what they do. Jesus, I have been talking for a really long time. I've been doing all these videos one after the other. So I just finished the main playthrough commentary and I've jumped right into the extras. My throat is sore, so you may hear me drink some water occasionally. By the way, with leaderboards, you can pick people who have played and actually get to see their recording of how they played, because the game automatically records everything that you do in these challenge modes. So you can actually see how people do as they play, which is pretty exciting. And just good in general to learn how they've done this stuff, and maybe you can emulate it and be at the top 100 of leaderboard too. Who knows? Moving into the actual challenges, of course, there is a wide variety of challenges. The main attraction here is the Time Attack, which is complete the stage as fast as you can. You start off with all your special weapons, and you're tasked with just beating the stage in a certain amount of time. Unlike in Mega Man 10 or 9, there is actual ranks in Mega Man 11. So, as you can see, I'm not doing a replay right now because there's no little play thing going on there, but I'm just playing the stage normally, just to show you what it's like. You have access to all your special weapons. The game plays as though you're playing in normal mode. And yeah, not much more to say. It's just a fun way to hone your skills in Mega Man 11. It's certainly how I honed my skills for the superhero mode playthrough. A little bit. It's only so much you can do before, you know, before you decide to start playing it yourself in superhero mode. Anyway, now I'm going to show you an example of a recording of a stage. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy seeing this replay, and I'll see you when it's done. So, yeah, gonna pick it now. Here we go. Okay, so that's the main appeal of the extra modes, is the fact you have time attack to practice all stages in normal mode. There are a whole bunch of other different versions of the challenges that you can participate in. There's Jump Saver, just finish a stage in as few jump as possible. Shooting your buster as little as possible. Defeating enemies to get certain score. All these modes are fine. I don't touch them because, you know, there's just no point in me getting into them. I like just playing the game normally. I don't need to collect medals or not jump or not shoot, because that goes against everything that is Mega Man. There are a few extra playground challenges where you can actually practice boss battles and mini-boss battles, and actual battles with the final bosses of the game, including the Wiling Machine, the Mauvern, and the Yellow Devil. And a few unique challenges exclusive to the playground that include, when I go up there, because I'm just showing off that you can actually fight mini bosses here, and this is how I actually got certain footage from certain bosses that I wasn't able to show off the full array of their moves or capabilities in superhero mode because I killed them too fast, because you don't want to mess around with them in superhero mode. So I got the extra footage from time attack mode. Anyway, this challenge is just try to bounce this thing as much as you can. There's not much to it. Not really that interesting. I never really touched it until now for this recording because I never had any need to. But if it's something you want to do, you're free to do it if you want, you know. It's an extra little mini game here that Mega Man 11 has in store for you, taking advantage of the physics of one of the stages for that. No, one of the stages, from one of the enemies from Bounce Man's stage. See, I can do words. I know how to do words. My throat is sore because I've been talking for over an hour here. This thing taking advantage of another enemy. Just as the first challenge took advantage of the Boyorns from Bounce Man's stage, this thing takes advantage of the Mole Tanks from Torchman's stage. And challenge you to just push them. No special weapons allowed here, so you just have to push this thing with your buster until you die, or until time runs out. Preferably time runs out, so you can save your score. I do appreciate that they put the effort in to put these minigames into Mega Man 11. I don't think they're all that good. Certainly not things that I would go back to. Certainly not the reason I go back and play Mega Man 11 over and over again. But the fact they're here is good, and I don't mind the fact that they're here, so, you know. To each his own. And yeah, that's Playground exclusive thing number 2. The final one is probably the most interesting of the 3, but not one that I would go back to. This one tasks you with killing normal enemies with their weaknesses. See, each and every single enemy in Mega Man 11, and I didn't know this until I started playing this, but each and every single enemy in Mega Man 11 has a weakness. Not just bosses, not just mini-bosses, but the enemies actually have things that they are exceptionally weak to. As you can see, all the stuff I'm fighting so far are weak to the pile driver. But that thing is not weak to pile driver. This particular minigame requires a lot of memorization. I don't like it that much because, you know, when you're normally playing Mega Man 11, even in superhero mode, you don't need the weaknesses to kill these things in 2 seconds. They go down like nothing. But, you know, again, to each his own. The fact this stuff is here at all is good. Wish it was a little bit more interesting, but whatever. So aside from time trial and aside from the other modes that I don't really touch, and aside from the playground, there is one other extra mode here that we should go over. We're not going to go over like for realsies until a later part of this extras video, and this boss rush is literally just copy paste from Wily Stage 3. There's not much to talk about with that. It's Dr. Light's Trial. Super tough stage, we're going to get to it later though. But first...
hell of a job getting here. What are you doing here?
I'll get you!
You scrambled my electrons. I recognize that voltage. How could I refuse? Assault and battery. Blackout! Blackout!
Time to begin the countdown! Big Bang! This'll be dynamite! Heads up! Welcome to my chemical paradise! I'll melt you to the last volt! Acid! Take an acid bath!
It's showtime! I'm like a rose, frozen in ice. You're skating on thin ice. Now, start the music. A grand finale! Shattered! The last.
Perhaps you would be a challenge. Prepare yourself to feel the heat. Torch Jutsu! Hiya! Behold, Impact Man! I like to spike! Maximum impact! Slam attack! Power gear! Spike! Don't move!
Oh boy, a new playmate! Wanna bounce with me? Bounce, man! Let's get hopping! See you in the spring! Aw, playtime's over! Catch you on the rebound!
End of the line, Mega Man! No mercy, Mega Man! I'll scrap you piece by piece! Fire! Stay still! Onward! Time for my backup plan! Not a scratch! Impossible! This is just the beginning! Wily always wins! I've waited for this! Yes, flee! Come on, come on! Speed gear! Double gear! Double gear if you leave me no choice! It's nothing! No!
Hope you enjoyed that foray into the gallery. I wanted to show that off before we got to Dr. Light's trial. Just, you know, just to break it up a little bit and give my voice a bit of a break. Welcome to the toughest stage of the game. Dr. Light's trial. It is 30 mini stages lined up back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Ultra tough. Some of them are challenges, like this one where you have to kill 15 of these little lyric robots. And some of them are just straight up platforming like this. Easily the most difficult thing in this game. It's very fun though. This is the kind of stuff that I want from Mega Man 11 bonus modes. Not the don't jump too much or don't shoot too much or collect balloons. This is what I want. This time trials and getting to refight bosses and mini bosses in time trial situations. This is the stuff that makes Mega Man 11 extra modes worth it. Not completely worth it because, you know, you got that other stuff there that's kind of useless, but the fact that this good stuff is here intermingled with the kind of mess stuff is worth it. This is a wonderful addition to the game. And it proves that Dr. Light is kind of a super genius, because he created the most difficult stage of the game, not his nemesis, Dr. Wily. Good for you, Light, I guess. Also, kind of fuck you, because this stage really gave me a lot of pain when I was trying to record it. And the fact that the bonus that you unlock for beating this is the endless version of this, which is just these 30 screens again and again and again. Not even randomized, just as soon as you beat screen 30, you get sent back to screen 1 where you have to destroy the 15 lyric robots. Kinda ridiculous, and I'm never gonna touch Dr. Light Trial Endless mode, but the regular Dr. Light Trial is good. I like it. Difficult, but it's good. It's basically the most difficult Wily Castle stage you will ever go through. Challenges you to use each and every single one of your special weapons in a variety of ways. Both versions of Rush. Both the speed gear and the power gear. It's way too difficult to actually be a fortress stage, like unfair difficulty spike alert if this was one of the Gear Fortress stages. But the fact it's here as an extra mode to challenge certain people that want to do it is impressive. Now, Dr. Light's Trial consists of 30 screens, 30 mini stages, I should say, not screens. Every 10 mini stages is a boss. And the first boss is Yellow Devil Mark III, which means that the second boss at stage 20 is going to be the Mauvern, and the third boss at stage 30 is going to be Wily Machine 11, both forms. So prepare yourself, because there are no E tanks, there are no W tanks. This is just survive on 1 health bar as best you can. And no energy refills either. Well, some energy. No, sorry. No W tanks, so you can't refill your energy that way, but there are certain screens that you can refill your weapon energy. In fact, every 11th screen is where you refill your energy. So 2 occasions where you can refill your health and refill your special weapon energy. It's actually coming up right now. Now that we've beaten Yellow Devil, we can actually refill. Be careful though, because both the big health pellet and the big weapon energy pellet is anti-Yetis. So you have to choose. If you have enough health, don't go for the big health pellet, just go for the anti-Yeti that has the weapon energy, destroy that, and you get that. But if you're low in health, you're going to have to sacrifice the anti-Yeti that has the weapon energy and take the health instead, so be very careful, because it only gets harder from here. This section's a little bit reminiscent of Wily's Castle in Mega Man 5. It's not exactly that, but it's reminiscent with the spinning platforms that don't look like gears in this case. It's very reminiscent of what the Wily Castle in Mega Man 5 was like, I think. Oh man, I'm out of water. Oh shit. My throat is very sore from talking so much. I recorded these, again, I'm going to say it again, I recorded all these back to back to back, so... The part 1, that was 40 minutes, the part 2 and 3, that were 30 minutes each, and this, which is about 40 minutes. That's a lot of talking. Especially for a guy that does not talk a lot normally. If you couldn't tell by how much I ramble and stutter, I don't talk a lot normally, but I like this series a lot, and I like to talk about it, so here I am. This section originally took me it took me an entire afternoon of recording to finish this. Yeah, it took me an entire afternoon of recording to do just the Dr. Light's trial. At the time that I initially recorded everything, I didn't actually do Dr. Light's trial, so later on when we actually get to the section where I cover achievements and trophies for the game, you're going to notice that some of them are locked, particularly the one before the final one, which is going to be the one for beating this. So from the point after that I recorded that to when I'm doing the commentary for this, I beat Dr. Light's trial, but at that point I didn't, so I'm not going to have the trophy for it. Just a small behind-the-scenes peek of the order that I record things in. I saved Dr. Light's trial for last because I knew Dr. Light's trial was going to be super fucking difficult, and I was not wrong. Anyway, stage 20, Malvern. Just as easy as last time. I don't think I even take damage this time, I think. No, I don't think I take any damage this time from Malvern, so yeah, go me. Yeah, no, I don't take any damage from Malvern this time. Good for me. Good for me. So at the time I'm recording this, school's almost back in session. Hope you're all ready for that. Maybe you're not ready for that. What do I care? You do you. I'm ready for it. I don't want to be, but I'm ready for it. Another semester. I mean, I graduated my major already in interactive media design, so 3D modeling is what I do. But I'm going back for my minor in mathematics, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully well. I'm almost done. I only got 3 more classes to go before I graduate with my minor as well, so that'll be nice. That'd be nice to be shoved out into the real world with just debt and paper that says I did stuff. Real wonderful. Hopefully you saved your Tundra Man weapon for this section, because it makes this section normally kind of difficult. Just a cakewalk that takes 2 seconds. Love it. This screen is... I hope you have enough pile driver to just blast your way through it, because there's no strategy here. Just go as fast as you can. Take as little damage as possible, hopefully. This one's kind of a break. This is the easiest of all the destroy a certain amount of enemies before moving on shtick. Well, the lyric one was easier than this, but the Boyorns are pretty easy too. Just a nice little resting spot while they get you ready for more difficult stuff ahead. Because there is more difficult stuff ahead. I do die twice in the Dr. Light's trial, unfortunately. Thankfully, beating Yellow Devil and beating Mobber gives you 1 life each, so you start off Dark Lights Trial with 0 lives, but beating Yellow Devil Mark III would give you 1 life, and beating Mobber gives you a 2nd life. So at this point I have 2 lives, 2 extra lives, which I'm going to probably waste in a little bit. Not yet, but in a little bit I'm going to waste them, because there is a particular section coming up in screen 28, which just, I guess it just didn't get it, I don't know. Whatever. I'm actually surprised at how well I did here, because those Pikmin with the axes are really, really devastatingly accurate, and the traffic cones scare the shit out of me with how they home in, but I made it through somehow. This screen's relatively easy, not much to it. Oh, it's almost 5 o'clock now. At the time I'm recording this, it's almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh man, I gotta eat something. I did not eat anything all day. I was busy setting up this commentary and everything. Here we go. Here's where I'm going to be dying a couple of times. Of course it would be the fucking Blockman blocks that were doing that. I mean, not even the first time. The first time I just hesitated too much, and this thing's going to kill me, even though I had so much Scramble Thunder that I could have just killed him in 2 seconds, but whatever. Whatever, we're past that now. I don't die anymore. Fucking annoying blocks. Although I do freak out here. That's why it's gonna take me a little while to finish this little stage, because I almost died there again. Thank God I didn't. And thank God, for as difficult as the stages in Dark Lights Trial are, that they treat all damage that you do and receive as normal mode damage, so those blocks didn't take out a full, like, quarter of my health like they would have in superhero mode. And that's it. That's the end of the hard part, because this is the last section before the Wily Machine 11 fight, and the only thing you have to worry about here are arc weldies. There's no other enemies, no other obstacles besides the arc weldies and the little, you know, fire traps that they put down for you. Get past them and you'll be ready to take on Wily. Hopefully you have plenty of Acid Barrier and Chain Blast to at least take down the first form really quick and take down like most of the second form as quick as possible, so that he just gets stuck in double gear mode over and over again. Because as difficult as it is to land a hit on him in double gear mode when he's doing his desperation double gear attack, it's actually really easy to avoid his double gear attack in general. So while it may be difficult for you to do damage to him, it's going to be difficult for him to damage you once he's in his desperation phase. So hopefully you have enough special weapon energy to take him down to that point as fast as possible. I almost do, I think. I forget exactly if I do it or not. I take down this first one really, really quick, because you know, you don't want to play around Dark Lights Trial with no E tanks or W tanks or anything. You want to make sure all your hits count and just take this thing down as quickly as possible. Remember, treat this thing like a slightly more difficult version than the Wily Machine 10 from Mega Man 10. Jump on missiles to land hits on his face and stuff.
Genius prevails.
Strategies for the 3 Wily bosses that you have to fight in Dark Lights Trial do not change at all, as compared to the to regular playthrough. Obviously, if you played in superhero mode like I did, then they're actually easier, because Yellow Devil is slower, Mavern does less damage, and Wily is also slower, because in superhero mode they're just faster also. Ah, no, I didn't have enough to bring around desperation phase. I'd do the rest of this in with just the Buster. You might not notice it there, but Wily actually said Hyper Turbo, referencing Street Fighter 2, which is another Capcom property, so of course he would. Yeah. Final boss is not that difficult, but Damn it if it ain't fun. On its own. Dr. Light's Trial in general is really difficult and annoying, but on its own, the actual bosses are all really, really fun to do. And what a creative gimmick, too. The speed gear and power gear. We never had a situation where robots, even in the X series or the Zero series, overclock themselves like they do here in this game. So it's pretty cool to actually get to see that. And that's it. That's the end of Dr. Light's Trial. 15 minutes. Not the best thing ever, but I did it, so... Now you get to see exactly what it's like, and how to do it yourself, and how to not fucking die twice. Anyway, for beating it, you unlock Dr. Light's Trial Endless. It just repeats itself over and over and over again. Not really worth doing, so... If you want to do it, go ahead, but otherwise, just stick to Dr. Light's Trial normally. And yeah, that's it. Moving on. Okay, welcome to the achievements of Mega Man 11, the trophies, because I'm playing the PS4 version. You know, some of them are fairly what you'd expect. Just beat the game a certain way, don't take damage, blah, 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 blah. Some of them have to do with certain secrets in levels, which you're going to see, actually cut to, as we go over what each and every single one of these achievements are. The video will go over. I'm going to use this time to wrap up my thoughts on Mega Man 11, because this pretty much speaks for itself. This game is wonderful. Again, I'm going to repeat some of the stuff I said in the finale. This game is amazing. It's wonderful. It's the direction that Mega Man needs to go in for the future. Overall, I have no complaints with this game. There are a few nitpicks. The ending is weird with the difficulty curve to the bottom. It's kind of strange just how the game does that. The extra modes, you know, some of them are okay, but a lot of them are not, you know, anything to really write home about. Overall, though, Mega Man 11, amazing presentation, amazing art style, amazing soundtrack. It plays really well, 60 FPS all the time, even though you're not going to see it on YouTube. 4K looks amazing. This game is just phenomenal and almost damn near perfect from the time I'll be playing it. I hope Mega Man 12 that's in development now in 2019, or at least I hope it's Mega Man 12. Maybe it's Mega Man X9, who knows. I hope that whatever the next Mega Man games is keeps going in this direction of streamlining things, of making things accessible and fast and efficient and easy to understand. This is how Mega Man should be from now on, especially in the year 2018 onwards. This is how Mega Man should be, and I hope it continues to remain like this for now and forever. A phenomenal game overall. I really got no more to say except phenomenal, 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 phenomenal. A lot of these achievements are just, you know, things you'd expect, but there's a few of them that I had to cut to certain things to show you that, you know, some stages have secrets and things that you wouldn't expect normally, but are there and do exist and were built into the game so that you can experiment and discover them for yourself and enjoy them for yourself and, you know, get these achievements in general. So I hope, if nothing else, these videos were entertaining, maybe helped you a little bit. Maybe you like the editing. Maybe you just like the game in general. Maybe you like me rambling. Who knows? I hope you got something out of these videos, because I enjoy making them. And apparently there are 80 of you that enjoy watching them, so that makes me feel pretty good inside. Thank you. Not much more to say, really. We're about to move on to one last section after these achievements, where I cover a bunch of small, little, insignificant extras that I just thought were worth talking about and worth noting. This is something I had no idea about for the longest time, but apparently your acid barrier can just destroy those hard quality traps like it's nothing, which is pretty cool. After this, I don't know when I'm going to be able to upload again, because school, and that's going to keep me busy for a while, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens, because while I start working on that big Mega Man video of all the classic series games that I'm not going to cover for this channel, I also want to do Let's Plays on other stuff, because I have capability to record on PS4 now, and I want to record more stuff from PS4 now, so we'll see if I have time, what other stuff I can do. It won't be the Mega Man X series immediately, but eventually I'll move on to that. Got hidden trophies for Dr. Light's trial, by the way. But I already did that, so you already know how to get that hidden trophy. So, a couple of final things. You can go back to the stage select at any time, even if you haven't beaten a Robot Master. It's pretty great. Torchman stage. You can freeze the giant burning wall of fire that comes after you. Pretty cool. When you go to Dr. Wily's castle, you're able to go back to the main stage select screen anytime you want. Efficient, clean, streamlined. It's great. And from the Wily castle, you can go to save a game or load a game, you can go to Dr. Light's lab, or, as I said again, and will now show, right? Yeah. You can go to Dr. Light's lab, you can go to the save screen, the load screen. And you can go back to the main stage select screen at any time you want. So, pretty good, pretty efficient, pretty streamlined. Revisiting a stage, by the way, you don't have to watch the Robot Master intro, and for the first time in a long time, you can refight robots when you get to the end of the stage. Huzzah! Finally, fucking finally. Took so long, but finally they did it again. And from the stage select screen, you can go back to the main title screen anytime you want. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Keep a lookout for the link to all the lab items below. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Bye-bye.